Greetings and peace. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you might be listening to this from. Now, the topic for today I would like to talk about is transhumanism, artificial intelligence, its future, and what role does Freemasonry have to play with that, or what purpose would it be in that kind of regard. Now, we're living in an era right now where everything is based on technology. You cannot do anything without a smartphone these days, or you go to any business, you can't do anything without an internet connection. So we have grown dependent on this technology and how it's shaping our inevitable future, so to say. Now, if it's that concept where when I was growing up as a kid, we would be able to knock on each other's doors and call people out and play together, but now it's very rare you see that because everybody's at a young age now. They're being given technology, and they're being given all these modern phones and tablets and video games, and some of those kids probably know how to use it better than me because that's the world that they're going into. Now, transhumanism, and I guess with the role of Freemasonry, is that it's an organization to uplift fallen humanity and to improve one's character in an imperfect world and in an imperfect setting. So I would say that teaches you the proper way that you have to chip away at all your imperfections to become a better person. Now, what role would transhumanism play in that? Transhumanism kind of like gives you the easy way out because they're talking about putting chips in people or infusing some technological aspects inside human beings to make them more smarter or heal some of their problems. Now, you look at all of our enlightened ancestors that we come from all cultures and faiths. There's always a group of beings that existed in our past that were more spiritually advanced than what we are today, and they didn't have any technology at all, or they might have had some kind of technology that we don't have. So it's definitely a lot to think about, and I would say that with the transhumanism, there is good to it, but there's also a bad side to it as well. It's like if you're having a conversation with somebody, and I guess the AI or the phone hears you, and as you're scrolling through your YouTube or Facebook or whatever you use, and there'll be an advertisement directly directed at you. Now, this also sounds kind of unbelievable. Not many people might be able to prove this, but I have also heard that people, the things that they were thinking about, they might have never had any conversation with anybody, they never said it out loud, but those things that they were thinking about, when they were scrolling through whatever medium that they use, they found exact advertisements for those mediums in what they were doing. And I think that's amazing. Or it's scary too, but it just shows you where this world is headed towards, where technology, AI, and man are becoming one entity, which also many people say like signifies the immortality of man. So it's like, and it's what Freemasonry regards as well as the immortality of the soul. So we can make those two connections together and also realize that how how is this world moving forward? Our organization's job is to uplift fallen humanity, and regardless of all the technology and advancements we still have a high suicide crisis in America, high opioid and drug problems, family problems, emotional problems. So, what what is the I guess what is Freemasonry doing for the communities, and how can if it's not, what can it do better, especially in an age where everybody's infused with technology, right? I think transhumanism and Freemasonry can come together, but the local lodges and whatever hierarchies that are above them, they need to make good use of it. And I've also heard stories where local lodges, what they did was I guess they paid like $80 or $90 for Facebook promotion of their ad to advertise at their local lodge that they're doing like a Halloween party or some kind of party for the local community. And so many people showed up where they had even ran out of parking space. And I heard this story on the Masonic Roundtable, so my shout out to them. They're doing good work by spreading education and spreading light and awareness. So I think we need to follow that example where you have to take advantage of these mediums and reach out to people, because it's more useful now than making flyers, or how would you say it, making flyers or knocking on everybody's doors, trying to talk to each person. And that's the best way to reach the masses at the same time. And you tell them who you are and how you can become a part of their life and how they can become a part of your life. But I guess we would see as time goes on what role transhumanism will play with all the technology taking over and information at the fingertips. I mean, now you have entire encyclopedias and books, movies, videos, anything you can imagine. Whatever you want to learn about, it's basically people are just carrying it with them in their pockets wherever they go. They have a resource available that people in the past didn't have. So I would say that as AI, and it's basically a singularity, and that's what the goal of the Mason is to become one with God, because everything belongs to God and to Him we shall return. So our thing is that what role do we play in our communities and with our families, with our loved ones, with our friends, and any endeavor that we're involved in? What role and what specific tasks that we have to do to keep ourselves relevant in the age that's coming, where everybody's more worried about social matters. And if your organization's not involved in anything social or anything that's not benefiting the community in the age of singularity, or I guess you could say the woke generation, then eventually you start seeing a decline. But the idea, however, now, see, like, Freemasonry has existed way, way before, since 1717. So I guess even, let's say, in the future, if the Grand Lodge or Lodge system has some kind of issue with it, then that idea of what it stands for will always be alive forever in the hearts of those who follow it. It will never completely go away. It will always exist in some way, shape, or form, in some idea or some practice or some belief. It's always going to be there. So that also signifies the immortality of the teachings, and especially in the age of transhumanism, where our technology, AI, and man are going to become one in what the future is going to entail. Where now, whatever even the things that you think about or you talk about, it's basically programmed right into your phone when you're scrolling, and it tells you that this is what you want. Now, I recently saw an advertisement the other day when I was scrolling through Facebook, and I have never talked about this, but I was seeing advertisements for, like, you know how, like, the strap you wear to fix your shoulders? So they were saying that I have a hunchback problem, and sometimes I do, and I'm amazed, like, how does this really work? Are our minds becoming infused with all the AI and the singularity and the 5G that's getting put around? And if so, isn't that like the concept of what Freemasonry stands for? It's like making good men better, but this is basically being applied to everybody. Everybody has access to this. So how can we take advantage of this system and make sure that our values are infused in it, so it reaches those people that deserve to hear what we have to say? And take advantage of these social media platforms and the transhumanist age, and pay for advertisement out of your lodge budget, 50, 80 bucks, and you can see that how many people will show up at your open house events and all the things that you're trying to do for the community. Because if you don't reach out to your community, then you're not going to be a part of their future. So community outreach is very important. whether it's at your local high school, at your local college. You gotta let people know who you are, what you stand for, what role do you play in their world, and how they can play a role in your world. Because if it comes down to this, if it comes down to the transhumanist AI age where you can put a computer chip in your brain and download all the knowledge that you want, right? Like the Matrix. That's basically predictive programming that we were given, that all these things will come to pass. So if you have a brain chip in your brain and you could just jack yourself up to something and download all the information that you're trying to learn, then that really kind of like makes you think that organizations that focus on spiritual and philosophical and moral development, what role will they have to play unless they take some kind of action to get involved in their communities and make sure that we become a part of what they believe and what they understand before we get too lost into this age of technology where nobody even looks at each other anymore. You go to a lot of these restaurants and family interactions are so down and everybody's just looking at the phone and nobody's talking to each other. So that takes away from the human interaction. There really does. And I would say that it's got to be some compromise that we have to find in the middle. We have to find some kind of compromise in the middle that would tell us, okay, you know what? This is the future that we're facing, and you have to adapt with the time, because Freemasonry is a work in progress. It's a one great work, and it evolves with time. And those who say that we always done it this way, there's gonna come an age and a time where even they will become obsolete. So those Masons, like the younger ones that are taking charge and raising issues that need to be addressed and bringing in reforms into their respective jurisdictions, they are the ones that are going to take charge when this transhumanist AI society goes full swing. And it's already getting there. So because now we're in the post 2020 world, and now everything's all like straight from here, because the next century is going to be the 2100s and then so on and so on. So it's all full swing from here, and it's better to adapt and become a part of the future of the young people, their communities. I guess how would you say it? You can I guess make apps and stuff. Make an app, and so you could advertise that in your local paper to show that, okay, we offer these services for the community. Like you can come and donate blood or help a charity or do something for the school or help us with something. We can help you with something. So, and I see that a lot where most people do not get done the things that they want to get done. So we really need those community resources. There's a lot of communities out here that are lacking stuff, and our organization needs to take advantage of this current technological age and adapt to what their community, the wants and needs of their community, so they can thrive in whatever respective area that their lodge is located in. And people will be happy to come there and support you, and it becomes like a whole family affair. And that's what they encourage anyways, get your family involved, ladies nights and all that stuff. So if you handle it in another way, it's more beneficial for the future, because then if you become a part of somebody's like household, if you become a household name, then no matter what age comes in, whether it's technology or AI or 5G or whatever, the idea of what you stand for will always remain alive in the hearts of those who believe it and follow it. And that's the immortality. Like anything that I posted on social media or on my YouTube or whatever I've done so far, it's going to be on the internet forever. Long after my body is gone from this earth, somebody somewhere in another time will remember me, and they will listen to whatever I wrote, and they will analyze all of those things and see how can I benefit their life. And I hope that even after my life is over, I can still impact somebody's life with what I've put out there on the internet. Because I want to see a world where we all become one united body, no matter what you believe, where you come from. That's what Freemasonry teaches, is that we're all one human society, and we're all children of God. And where else in the world do you see this, where we can all come and love one another regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status? So those things are very important. And I believe that the AI technology age is an open challenge to all of us. That, are you going to sit back and let the next generation be infused with technology, where whatever they want to learn, any spiritual development, they can just do everything for free right off of their phone, rather than make any other investment of their time, energy, or resources? Or are you going to take charge and let them know, okay, this is who we are, this is what we stand for, this is the role we played in your past, in your history, and in your future, and your present? So we have to be able to take that mentality out, that, especially that video I made about pride, take that mentality out that having a square and compass on you makes you better than others, or others don't have the right to talk to you unless they're on the same level as you. Nope, everybody's on the level. You give respect to everybody, because you are the shepherds of your community and your future. And it's inexcusable for us to exist and see that the next generation is being swallowed whole by AI, technology, suicide, loneliness, drugs, and what role are we really giving to them? And I think this is the best chance for us to take charge and make apps, or get to know people, let them know who you are, tell them about your family, ask them about theirs. That's the only way you win for the future, when you include everybody. But if you have ego and pride that, okay, this person's excluded, this person's on the ignore list, this person I'm going to treat better, so that doesn't work, because that ruins your future and that goes against your purpose of uniting humanity, and also you're not benefiting the future in which where this world is headed. So if all these things are followed correctly, then you wouldn't hear too much about, okay, nobody comes out anymore, or why are a lot of these lodges closing down? Because you have to give them something of value to offer. They could just stay home and spend $60 on a PlayStation video game and get like at least 6 months of entertainment out of that. Like, what idea do you have to compete with that? Or Netflix? Or they just want to be in the comfort of their own home with their families and enjoying technology. What alternative, or what app, or what kind of knowledge or technology, or how you can transfuse your philosophy and your ideology into this new age and benefit the future of the young ones that are taking charge? And I believe those things need to be discussed. They need to be talked about. And the mentality of, we always done it this way, you got to know that this whole life is a work in progress, whether you're a part of the brotherhood or not. Everything keeps building. It's like when you go to school. If in order for you to successfully complete your degree and your coursework, first you have to take English 101, then you have to take Algebra 1, and then you have to take Algebra 2, then the English next level. You can't just like say that, okay, I just want to stay at English 101 at Algebra 1 because I always done it this way. That doesn't work. Your idea and what you stand for, you hold that great power and responsibility to usher in that new era that's coming in the post-2020 world, to ensure that you're a part of your community, and to ensure that the young people have somewhere to turn to, the young men of today who are more lonely than ever and don't have the same relationships and values, or I guess anything that was instilled in our parents and grandparents. This is like one of the greatest times for us to exist, for our brotherhood to exist, to take charge and turn the division and the loneliness and the anxiety and depression and all the stuff that's going on in this country, speaking for the US, or other places in the world too that are facing similar situations, to turn this around and become shepherds of your community. So that way, transhumanism, AI, 5G, whatever is coming our way, where they're saying that man is going to become immortal, you teach them that, okay, you know what? We always done it this way, and we always believed it this way, long before this technology even existed. Give them a reason to get interested in you. And it's, instead of selling anything, you have to see how can it benefit their life, and how can it benefit their community. So I know the singularity and the transhumanism and the AI, we still have yet to see where it's going to take our world. But I would say, as time goes on, as a work in progress, so too does our work. And the best way that we can infuse ourselves into this transhumanism and how man's consciousness will develop is to teach them that, you know what, the other way is actually better. Don't take the easy way out of putting a computer chip in your brain and downloading everything that you want to learn. There's another enjoyment to learning it the way that you actually learn and enjoy your life. It's like a spiritual school, and it's more better when we come here and learn our lessons the real way. And those that supposedly are born with the memories of their past lives, they actually have it easy because they already know who they were, what they were sent back to do, and all those things that involve that. So I think transhumanism and AI and making it easy to learn everything would ruin that enjoyment of learning, of fellowship, of anything of that sort, where we have our natural feeling for one another. I think that's actually going to lose our humanity as time goes on. More people are going to be infused with more technology, and you won't be able to practically do anything in this world unless you have an internet connection. And that's how it is. You can go to any store, everything's all computerized, and if the system is down, you can't even close the shift. If you're working at a store, you can't close, you can't make a sale, you cannot do anything. So I think it's going to come a time where our role to uplift the fallen state of humanity has to become more relevant now more than ever, because humanity's already at a stage where what I described already before is all the anxiety, loneliness, depression, people looking at their phones and not talking to each other. So that's why I'm taking that endeavor in my hand too, by what I'm doing with my YouTube channel. I might not get a lot of views or subs, but you know what? If I made a difference in the life of one person minimum, and they can pass that on to their children, then I fulfill my life's purpose of being a Mason and being somebody that took charge in this technological age, and age of a lot of social and political change, and not look the other way because this issue did not affect me directly. And we have to restore that humanity, and we have to restore that faith in one another, and tell people out here, you know what? There are bigger issues at hand that you need to focus on than just being distracted by your alcohol and ball games. And we all need to come together and unite this world, because the agents of chaos that exist in all backgrounds, they come from all backgrounds, and they will try to create disunity, and anything that creates disunity is ungodly, and we stand against that, because we have to uplift humanity and we have to heal this world. No matter 5G comes, 6G comes, doesn't matter. Our role should always remain relevant, and we should always be faithful to our family, our friends, our neighbors, our brothers, and what kind of world are we leaving behind for them. Now, that's something to think about. Like, with great power comes great responsibility, right? The cliche quote from Spider-Man 2 that Uncle Ben uses. But he's right. Because if you're claiming to be such and such and you do nothing about it, or to the very least, at least put some kind of message out there on the internet for the world to know who you are and what you stand for, then you're not taking any advantage of the time that has been given to you. Life is beautiful, but life is also short. And be thankful for each day that you get up. and just enjoy this beauty of life, and see what kind of world you want to leave behind for your descendants and their descendants and humanity as a whole. Take advantage of this technology and get your message out to the young people of this, that the transhumanist AI future or whatever it holds, yeah, it's there, but it's just like with anything else. There's also there's a good and bad use to everything. So I guess our job is to instill our values of unity, peace, love, and bringing humanity together. And I believe if we can usher in those beliefs in everybody's hearts, then whatever age comes in man's future, it will not be our downfall, or will not continue to push us down even further. Why? Because we made an effort to be the shepherds of our community and made sure that we instilled those values of love, peace, charity, hope, resistance against the wicked, standing up for your fellow man. All that we could do, we did it. So we do have a role now more than ever in this transhumanist AI future society. And you know how we do that? By winning hearts and minds and telling people who you are and get to know them. Get them, show up at your colleges and set up a table at your high school. Tell your communities what you do. If you have scholarship programs, go help kids out. And that's what it's truly about. It's about giving to one another and to keep your beliefs and your values in the hearts of those who follow it, no matter how many lodges might close in the future. But as long as you infuse your values in them, then your value, what you stand for, your organization will always be immortal in the souls of man and in the hearts of men, who are also immortal, and in the immortal AI age, technological age, where it's telling you that man's consciousness has a sense of immortality, where now you have the power to transfer your consciousness to another thing or to another being, and vice versa, and communicate telepathically and all that stuff. Where you see that, where now telepathically even things are being advertised for you, even if you don't have a conversation with anybody about it. So I hope I made sense. I my videos are normally like this because I don't have any script. Natural in front of you. I speak from the heart, but I take advantage of this technological medium is because I care. I care for the future of this world, no matter what you believe, what country you're from, what you look like, because I have love for all of you, and I want all of you to not fall into the traps of disunity by the agents of chaos, because they want to keep you in that state of fear. I would tell you that just put your faith in the Almighty, or whatever you might believe in, whatever comforts you, knowing that there's a higher power out there. And just know that we have more in common with each other than realize. Don't let anybody tell you to fear somebody on what they look like. If you go get involved in your local community, you'll see people of all backgrounds, and you'll know that you'll have more in common with each other than you realize. And you all have the same hopes and dreams for yourself and for your families. And please don't just sit on the sidelines and let your organization die. Take advantage of this technology. Take some money out of your budgets, buy these advertisements, tell people who you are, and have it marketed towards your community. They know who you are, and they have somewhere, like a lot of these at-risk teenagers that are becoming adults. They are reaching that adulthood. They know, okay, you know what? I heard about these guys. Let me go and talk to them. See what they can do. You got to put a purpose in people's life and take advantage of the technological transhumanist state that we're going towards. So hope I made some sense, and I thanks again for watching my videos and liking it, and I pray that all goes well for you, your families, and whatever future comes for us. Let us remain consistent in who we are, and we shall have nothing to fear, no matter what kind of age takes over. It's our job to be the shepherds of our future and our communities. Thank you.